I seek refuge in Allah from the accursed Satan. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. O Allah, send blessings upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad. Time, space. What I imagine about time and space is that they are containers, confined linguistically as such. The essence of being a container, in an absolute sense, is that the thing becomes perceivable, for example, by perceiving its dimensions in relation to itself or to others. Space pertains to the dimensions of a body, while time refers to the change in a body's dimensions, either within itself or in relation to others, through segmentation, for instance. Thus, the true container of the visual forms of objects is the self, or the visual faculty and the luminous field, which transfers the image along with the objects bearing these forms. That is, the visible dimensions that reflect light upon them. Aside from a true clarification of this concept, every person, even the ignorant, understands some meaning of time and space. This meaning can be summarized as space being a sensory or mental image in which all forms exist, and time being the transformations of spatial images. I imagine that my sensory perception is my temporal and spatial container, and my emotional feeling follows it, while my intellect represents the existence of the truth of time and space on a higher plane than that of sensation. This means that the universal concept of time limits sensory images, rather than being confined by them. In other words, the absolute truth is divided by attributing concepts such as time and space to it and structuring them from these concepts. One day I saw clouds in the sky, so I gathered the children to play football. This was at noon, during the blazing heat of summer. I did not realize that those clouds were not signs of the approaching fall, but rather a result of the intense humidity of the prevailing low-pressure system at that time. The sweltering heat, the shortness of breath, the extreme exhaustion and thirst after just a few minutes of the game drove me to abandon everything and rush to plunge my body from a height into the depths of the river. I learned the lesson well and gave importance to understanding time and space. I realized that time has constants such as the sun and the moon, and variables such as the changing as of days, nights, weeks, months, years, decades, and centuries.